In Kingston tonight, and across all of Canada, the opioid addiction crisis rages on, with various organizations doing what they can to help stop it. Such is the case with one Kingston technology company, working hard to create rapid testing devices that could save lives. Mark Van Dusen of the Ottawa Business Journal introduces us to the creator of the device, who tells us exactly what it does.
I'm Mark Van Dusen for OBJ Regional. From our small communities to our big cities, the opioid crisis continues to kill Canadians. But now a Kingston company has developed an innovative way of identifying the lethal danger in advance to save lives. Malcolm Eade of Spectra Plasmonics tells us more. What is it exactly you've developed, and how is it going to save lives?
Yeah, so us, Spectra, as a company, is focused on making technology that brings rapid, life-saving results for unknown samples in devices that can be deployed in the field. And so our first product, what we built around, is a drug analysis system, which tells you the composition breakdown of a drug sample, including if there's dangerous amounts of things like fentanyl inside of this. So it can be used in a variety of field scenarios, and right now we're piloting it in a supervised consumption site in Kingston. And this is to alert people of the dangerous contaminants that are found within drugs, and also give public health that information to track the unregulated drug supply.
Okay, let's back up a little bit here. Fentanyl is the one I guess everyone knows as the lethal drug of habit these days. What else can your product detect?
Right, so there's fentanyl, but fentanyl is in a family of compounds. There's they call them fentanyl analogs in this field, and so in that family is another chemical compound called carfentanil, and that's 100 times more potent and more deadly than normal fentanyl is. So knowing if that's in a substance is of significant value for that reason. There's also another group of substances called benzodiazepines, sometimes shortened to benzos, and this is a class of anti-anxiety drugs. When you mix that and fentanyl together, that can give some pretty dangerous outcomes and adverse effects when it comes to overdoses. In Ontario, we call them consumption treatment centers. And so in the rest of Canada, I believe the designation is still supervised consumption site. And so right now in our pilot in Kingston, it's right in consumption center where substances are used. And so the device and system is there on a table. And so if someone needs to analyze a substance, it can be done right there in a matter of minutes. The idea is to encourage more harm reduction type behavior. So if there was something unexpected, say you weren't expecting a benzo in a sample, then at that point, it's up to the user to either reduce the dose, maybe not take the dose at all, so that exactly like you mentioned, Mark, so that we can prevent an adverse outcome.
Why did you and your colleagues embrace this idea?
Another great question. So like many things, it was kind of serendipitous in entrepreneurship, but at the time, when we started the company, first off, I remember this was a year when fentanyl overdoses and fentanyl headlines were becoming really big in the media. And we knew that our technology could address this. We just didn't know what exactly the use case was going to be. A year or so later, we had this call for proposals from Health Canada to make these accurate drug checking prototypes. And we were looking at the specs of that and what they were asking for. And we said, hey, this looks like something that we could do very, very well. We want this to be in the hands of everybody whose job it is to save lives in this crisis, whether that be every consumption site, every first responder, every public health group, you name it. We want this to be ubiquitous everywhere.
Yeah, you're saving lives. How does that feel?
It's on one vein, it's a big responsibility, but also making an impact in a crisis that's very close to home and affects North America and Canada. Us as founders and as a company, we're very proud to be doing that, and we're very proud to be making a solution around such a big health crisis.
Malcolm, thanks for sharing these developments with us today at Spectra Plasmonics. It's very, very interesting and promising technology. All the best on that front. And again, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me again, Mark.